There have been threats, previously that if you stand in the way of your enforcement operations, you could be subject potentially to arrest. Are you saying that about Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom? Are they at risk of being arrested?
I'll say it about anybody. You cross that line, it's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien. It's a felony to impede law enforcement from doing their job.
That was the Trump administration border czar Tom Homan saying if Governor Newsom tries to stop ICE raids in Los Angeles, he will be arrested. Here's how Governor Newsom responded when NBC News relayed that message to him.
The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. I don't give a damn. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Then yesterday, when asked about border czar Tom Homan potentially arresting Governor Newsom, President Trump said, quote, "I would do it if I were Tom." Now, arresting a sitting governor has happened before. It's happened multiple times, but most recently it happened in 2008 when Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich was arrested after being charged with corruption for essentially trying to sell a Senate seat. But Newsom hasn't been charged with a crime. And we've seen very recently the president invoking presidential privilege to avoid prosecution with backing from the Supreme Court. But is Governor Newsom afforded the same? The Trump administration says they will arrest Governor Newsom. But can they? We asked Chris McKelly, a law professor at the University of the Pacific, that very question.
Just because the governor has expressed his displeasure and believed that those National Guard troops should return to his jurisdiction really doesn't amount to interfering with federal law enforcement efforts. So I would think that any alleged arrest of the governor of California would be really unwarranted under the law and certainly unprecedented in terms of history.
It would be historic. Right. It would be unprecedented. But the threats are out there, and the president even said about his border czar, he would do it if he were Tom Homan. But now Tom Homan has said, well, that line hasn't been crossed, so I'm not going to arrest the president or I'm not going to arrest the governor or Mayor Karen Bass yet.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of folks have been, asking this with Newsom just saying this in the last 48 hours. Can this actually happen?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are wondering that. That's our governor as well. So it's interesting to see statements like this when they're made.
And it's a question of states' rights, state sovereignty, which is what Rob Bonta was talking about in the previous sound when talking about the National Guard and now the Marines coming into LA against these protests. Still remains to be seen. Well,
thank you for explaining that. That was very helpful.
Thank you. No, thank you to the professor. He's the one with all the information. And thank you to Rob Blagojevich. Anytime I can get him in the show. KC 24 Sunrise Time, 5.